James Beattie, Saints legend. Welcome to the Wall.
It's nice to reminisce and look at the pictures. As I said to you before we started, I probably have to look at the pictures to remember what actually I can remember quite well, all of them really.
Is there anything that immediately jumps out at you, like the first thing that you see?
Well, I think I didn't score, but obviously that's Tiz's last goal at the Dell. The only person that could have scored that goal was Tiz. But very, very fitting that Tiz scored that. And that was the quickest he'd moved for about 3 years since I'd been at the club as well. He said I couldn't catch him, but I could. Yeah, no better man to score that winner, especially the manner of it as well. Half volley, left foot on the turn, straight in the top corner, was great. There's another one, white boots and white hair.
Big chances for Southampton, now Beattie! And yes, Southampton are ahead. It's James Beattie with the first goal of the Paul Stark reign.
I remember that one.
Yeah, big moment for you.
Big moment, and I took 3 touches instead of volleying it in. It hit me knee, then my shin, and then volleyed it in.
Beattie buries it.
But I'm obviously delighted to get the first one, but didn't know that all this was gonna come after it.
How did you find the transition to St Mary's? And it took a bit of time maybe to feel like home, I imagine?
Yeah, initially we struggled with results, didn't we? And there was all sorts of stories flying around that workmen from Portsmouth had buried a shirt under the centre circle and all that sort of stuff. But I think it was just the change of environment. And when we got that first win, we sort of settled down and got a few more, but it was just getting that first one.
You've got a couple of derby games on the wall as well. The fans love that one, giving a little bit to the Pompey fans. What were those derby games like? Because it had been a long time since that fixture had been played.
As a derby, because I played in a few, as a derby it was probably one of the most fierce ones because of the history, and it was nice to be able to again contribute to the fans' enjoyment. And I think the Portsmouth fans, as they still do now, even 25 years later, still give me grief, but that doesn't bother me. But I think they must have been giving me some on there, and obviously that's a reply to what you're saying now, I think. The Wimbledon result, when everybody wore the fezzes, for in tribute to Hassan.
Tissier wants to take the free kick, swings it in. Oh yes, Beattie has scored.
We had the whole side of Selhurst Park, didn't we?
Dellhurst Park.
Dellhurst Park, yeah, you got it. Remember this one? A good cross by Marion and just met it perfectly on the cross from the left at the Etihad. That was one of the first games, I think.
Yeah.
At the Etihad. Because I actually played in the last game at Main Road.
Of course. Yeah.
When I was trying to go for the golden boot, and I was shooting from 40, 50 yards, and the lads were having a go at me. At West Ham, I think it was about the 89th minute. We arrived at the stadium at about 25 past 7 for a Monday night football.
And we might have a slightly delayed start here because the Southampton team coach was stuck in heavy traffic on its way to the ground, and in fact they didn't arrive till just about half an hour ago. They had to phone ahead with the official team sheet.
We won 1-0 in the 89th minute. I go into the net there and I get caught in the net a little bit, and as I come out I nutted Rory and cut his cheek, I think. I have to ask him about that. But he had claret on his cheekbone, and he said it was me when I come back out of the net. That was probably one of my favourite games for Southampton, the 3-2 win against Arsenal.
Lined up for Beattie. Oh, what a strike!
That's another free kick where I struck it and the ball stayed still, there was no spin on it, and it sort of was going for David Seaman and then just veered off into the bottom corner. Didn't stand a chance, Dave, unlucky. We'll have to talk about the FA Cup final, Great journey to get to the final, unbelievable experience, but obviously not the sort of right result for us in the end. I think I went through and scored, but I was half a yard offside. Obviously playing in the yellow kit reminded us of 76, and I think if we'd have gone 1-0 up and that I would have been onside, I think we'd have held on and won. After the game, they had half and half, didn't they, the fans? And all the yellow side had stayed, even though we'd lost. And when they were getting the trophy, there was only a handful of fans. So it was just like, oh yeah, well, we do this every year and turn up. Whereas our fans, even though we'd lost, stayed to, you know.
You can see all the yellow in.
Yeah, and it was basically like that after the game. Enjoyed this game. A sort of long ball from Rippers came into me, just took me touch inside and then bent it in the far corner. My old club, Blackburn, got me some lines in my hair there, and I remember where the hairdressers I used to go to in Southampton, because I kept having the different haircuts than I and stuff. I don't know how the kids found out, but kids found out that I was getting my haircut there, and they just used to come in and say, "Can I have a James Beattie?" And he was like, "Yeah, no problem." And obviously they'd be at school, wouldn't they? And I don't know where they'd have to ask the parents whether they'd get sent home from school for having lines in their hair. Yeah, so remember this one, late winner, corner from our right into a great area, just attacked it, headed it down, it went into the roof of the net.
It is James Beattie. Southampton stun the champions.
Yeah, Roy Keane pointing at someone else, blaming someone else, which he does regularly now on the telly. Now, great occasion at Villa Park. I'm wearing the hat there in homage to the gaffer, Gordon Strachan. I think me and Brett had them on. Did me and Brett put them on? And he probably would have said something like, "Yeah, get that stupid out of beats," or something like that in his accent. But he was brilliant, Gordon. I respected every manager that I played for, of course. But he would actually take the mickey out of himself sometimes in training, which endeared you more to him. But you always knew where the line was, you know, with Gordon. And I still speak to him today. Again, another significant one in the Great Escape, the home win against Leicester. You know, I probably had half an idea of feeding it into an area where somebody could get a header, but you know, luckily for us and the club and the significance of it, went in the top corner.
Southampton have pulled it off again this afternoon with a vital victory that keeps alive hopes of staying in the Premiership. And it's the former Blackburn Rovers player, James Beattie.
This was a big game for us.
It's Fernandes ahead of him. Fernandes has delivered, what a chance! It's taken this time by James Beattie.
Across from Fabrice, he went right and then he went left and probably went right again. No, we told him about that. I just said, just do it once and then cross it, because if I'm making run after run after run, I don't know when the ball's coming in, so just do one.
Not a bad keeper to do it against either.
Van der Sar, yeah, he was all right, wasn't he? He's not bad. He's got half a chance, that lad. And that's at the Riverside. A couple of my mates are from Middlesbrough, and they said, "Oh, why don't you just write it on your vest, because it's obvious you're going to score." And they were sat in, and then I scored, and it was on that, and I've still got that vest as well. Yeah. But that was just a message to my mates who were in the crowd. This was a significant game for us for a reason that after this game, Glenn was sacked. And I remember scoring 2. I think that's the celebration from the header. It was an in-swinging corner, Oaksy took it, and it was probably actually one of my best headers that I scored. My last goal at St Mary's.
That player, James Beattie, at the moment. Will he stay or will he go?
What was it like when you came to leave the club? How tough a decision was that for you?
It wasn't my decision. There's a lot being said, and Harry came in and he said, "I need to sell you."
For money or?
Yeah, you're my only saleable asset. I need to raise some funds to get more players in, and that was it. That was the end of the conversation. I said I didn't want to go, but he said I need to sell you.
So if it was up to you, you would have happily stayed a few more years?
Yeah, I wasn't, you know, and I would have fully expected to stay up. It was a season, you know, it was obviously the season that the club got relegated. But I think to sell you, you know, your top scorer.
So much riding on this. Beattie! 3-2 Southampton!
Well, we'll go for this one as again. Let's just keep hammering it home that we beat them.
There are less than 20 miles between Fratton Park and St Mary's Stadium. It doesn't matter in which part of the world it is, local derbies are always that bit special.
So this one, League Cup. Yeah, so obviously giving me dogs abuse, which used to make me actually, you would think that it depends on the person, but used to spur me on, so it didn't affect me. It made me better, if anything. And I remember Strachan once saying to me, if you're ever getting booed at a stadium, then the fans know that you can be dangerous for them. Yeah, you're a threat. Yeah. So I used to love it. You score and then it's a perfect opportunity to do that, isn't it? Which is now on cups and pin badges and all sorts, so that's good.
Right, we're down to your top 5, so next job is just to arrange them 5 to 1.
Okay, this is St James's Park against Newcastle, and I just hit it on the half volley, and it just bends away from, I think Shea, with another one of my mates, Shea Given, was in the net, and it hit the post and went in. But actually I was off celebrating. As soon as I hit it, I was off celebrating, and then I had to just check, see it went in, and then I carried on. Yeah, I remember that.
Is that just pure instinct when it dropped to you?
Yeah, so it's just dropping, and you just carried it on, tried to, kept the ball low. I remember this one.
Another early goal.
So we were talking about late goals, and this is probably, so 15, 16 seconds in.
Mourinho had just gone to Chelsea, hadn't they? And they'd started like a train as well.
Yeah.
Might have even been the first goal they'd conceded that season.
So roll on a number of years. I'm coaching at Swansea, and Chelsea come, and Mourinho's the manager. I can't say it what he said to me, but he was joking. But he said, "Oh, you used to score against me all the time like that," and then just give me a big hug and that. I was like, "Ooh, that was all right."
Yeah, that must be cool.
Yeah, because he's a cool guy, isn't he? I got the free kick against Chelsea, New Year's Day 2002.
And you said that's, of all your free kicks, that's your favourite?
That's the best one, yeah. Then I'm going to go this one. And it was just one of them where I just thought, right, I'm going to hit this. And it could have gone literally anywhere. So yeah, that's going in number 2, which was, I'll put that one there. And then this is my favourite one. It's the most difficult one because the ball's coming straight back to me, and like you say, to hit it with, you know, the shape on it to try and it's deliberate. But again, I think you can tell by my celebration, I'm quite happy with that one. I can picture something in my mind of what's going to happen, but then it's just executing the technique to make sure that happens. And obviously my technique at sticking pictures on board isn't very good. But I think that's my favourite one, all things considered.